If one of my colleagues stated that a study on psychoanalysts proves hypnosis works in cases of multiple personality disorder, I would not take this statement at face value. I would be cautious about believing this, as I admittedly do not know much about hypnosis or its effectiveness with the treatment of multiple personality disorder. I wouldn't dismiss this colleague's idea, as I like to take a fair-minded approach to situations like this, but instead I would try to learn more about this topic so that we could have a discussion on our findings. In my readings this week, something that really resonated with me was the article by Elder and Richard on critical thinking and developing intellectual traits. I like how this article broke down critical thinking into different traits, such as intellectual integrity, intellectual empathy, intellectual humility, intellectual courage, and intellectual perseverance. And Elder and Richard stated that all of these traits are interdependent. And as I pondered how I would respond to this colleague, I realized that I exhibited these traits throughout my process. So first of all, I would ask my colleague where they were getting their information from. I would like to see and read that information for myself so I could evaluate it on my own, showing intellectual integrity. And I would evaluate the researches for myself and look to see if they were from a reputable source. Also, I would critically analyze that information given in the sources to see if their data rings true. And I would look for things such as to see how the study was conducted, when it was conducted, who did the study, how was the study administered, what were the results of that study. And through this, this would take intellectual perseverance because this would take some time to do this research. And after reading those resources or viewing the resources that my colleague used, I would then form my own ideas based on what it was that I read. And if I find that I do not agree with my colleague, I would then try to see how did my colleague come to that conclusion that they did. And that would be showing intellectual empathy and integrity. If they were seeing the data in a different way, I would discuss with them why and see if my reasoning was flawed, showing intellectual humility. And if I still didn't see eye to eye with them, I would share my own findings and why I believe hypnosis wouldn't work, showing intellectual perseverance and courage. And through this dialogue, I know that I would learn more about this topic and the ideas presented by my colleague, no matter what the outcome would be. I would hope that both of us would learn something through this dialogue and this process.